listen, Man United, I'm frustrated now because it's actually ruined the start of the biggest show the Terrace has ever had for Man United fans. So I'm very, very sorry there that we didn't get that right today. Listen, a brilliant result for Manchester United Football Club. It really, really was. And over the moon. Frustrated with the start of the stream, and I apologize to all of our viewers. And of course, sponsored today by Manscaped. Thank you very, very much for backing us today. Listen, it was huge for United today. We had to get that first win. We had to get over the line. We had to get rid of this goal drought. And Manchester United have done it. They've done it in a brilliant fashion as well. You know, yes, Newcastle had a lot of that second half, but we kept them out. We stopped them. They had one good shot on goal that just went wide and a decent save from David De Gea towards the end to pluck it out. It was a comfortable Man United performance. A little bit more clinical edge may be needed in the second half on those counterattacks, but a very, very good performance indeed from United. And to end that that trophy drought is absolutely imperative, absolutely massive. Absolutely massive for Man United. And I've said this for a few weeks now, and I stand by it. Rivals, be scared of what we're cooking. New owners coming in. Ten Hag is a world-class manager, and these players are just starting to come alive. And I felt as the game went on, there was nerves that crept in. A lot of these players together as a team haven't won trophies yet. This is going to be the beginning of the winning, in my opinion. Jess, of course, joining me here. I'm not actually sure if this is going to work, but let's see. Hopefully we're listening to it to make sure Jess's is working. Let me know what you thought of the game.
Yeah, I think it was pretty straightforward for Man United, to be honest. We had, Terry and KJ and Dizzy here. Like, we had so many United fans in here, but I just never felt like they were under any threat, to be honest. Like, I think they had everything under control. The first goal went in, Casemiro, big header off of the free kick from Luke Shaw, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of goal you need to kind of shut down the team that you're playing against. And I think from there, you just kind of saw that the air from the balloon that Newcastle had just started to slowly just empty. The air was going out of it. And I think that this was a battle of experience and quality. And Newcastle, who have been really good and really playing maybe above their level, just came up against a team that had experienced players with the know-how and how to win big games like Varane and Casemiro and Lisandro Martinez. And then you have Ten Hag as well. And so I think it was pretty straightforward. I never really felt like Manchester United were under any sort of threat whatsoever. But just because Newcastle weren't up for it and it wasn't their day doesn't mean that Manchester United didn't do a really good job. I think, defensively, they were really, really good, took their chances when they got it. And so this is a huge, huge win, I think, for Manchester United. I think midweek against Barcelona, you could kind of see that confidence was really starting to soar and they're reaching their peak. And this just kind of cemented that. And then so for the rest of the season, they can have that monkey off their back and also know that they've won something together. And so, yeah, like I agree with the rivals should be scared thing, like kind of a little bit, whatever. But great win and more than deserved. And yeah.
Listen, and I totally agree. And look, right. A lot of rivals will say they're not worried, they're not scared. But sleeping giants like Arsenal and Man United coming back to the fore if you're a rival and say you're not worried about it, you're a liar. Everybody worried when City got their money. Everybody was worried when Newcastle got their takeover because you know what is going to come eventually. And I'm loving the live comment section. People talking about offside goals for Casemiro, blah, 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 with the Mickey Mouse cup. Just inject that into my veins. It is medicine. It could end all manner of illnesses, depressions, anxieties, seeing you cry, seeing you upset, seeing you angry. And we love it. The Football Terrace was launched in the summer of 2017. We changed from being a Man United channel to a generic channel. This is the first trophy we've won. Nearly 6 years of banter, ridicule, laughter, being absolutely ripped from limb to limb by rivals, so Man United not winning. You can call it a Mickey Mouse trophy, but where were you today? Where was your team? As Liverpool fans saying Mickey Mouse trophy, you're mid-table. You just got battered by Real Madrid, who are nearly 10 points behind, by the way, a team we slapped up. So listen, you can be bitter all you want, but Man United are on their way back to being back. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. Man United are returning. We will, without a shadow of a doubt, challenge for the Premier League title next year. We're still in 2 cup competitions this year, and we're about to see, I think Bruno and Maguire are going to lift that trophy together. And I have to just say, I have to say this, Jed, I am so happy when it comes to Bruno Fernandes. And the reason I'm so happy for Bruno Fernandes is because he's been one of the best signings post Fergie. And I actually think he's been one of the best signings of the last 15 to 20 years for the club. He's been sensational as an individual, the level of goals, the level of creativity, his leadership. And he always talks about none of that matters until I start winning trophies. And he picks up his first today. Wayne Rooney's first trophy for Man United was the Carabao Cup. And here it goes into the air. Bang! Trophy lifted. United win the Carabao Cup. And I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing for him.
Look at them armpits.
I'm buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. But for me, Bruno Fernandes now, he wins his first, the same one Wayne Rooney won in 2006 against Wigan in the final. And there'll be more to come from that man. He is on the way, Bruno Fernandes. The same with Lisandro Martinez lifting the trophy now. Rashford, of course, who was influential in us getting to this final and doing what he did today. I think he wins a golden boot in this competition. Casemiro picks up man of the match today. These guys have got the ability and they've got the base now to become Manchester United greats. They've got to win league titles. They've got to win Champions Leagues. But what a way to start. Proud as punch. KJ and Dizzy are joining on the other table. How are you both feeling right now, seeing the trophy being lifted?
Yes, boys. Come on.
Season and that.
The mics have to work right now because I am so happy. You know what I mean? I'm happy. Loads of people writ us off this season, including Man United fans ourselves. We didn't believe, we didn't have hope. We just thought we was going to be in for a slow burn, a slow process. But Erik ten Hag, my beautiful, bold manager, knew that bold was best.
Absolutely. And you had a technical issue there. Your camera just switched off for some reason. But we'll go back to me. We'll come back to you guys in a minute. And it's great. It's absolutely great to see you guys gas for that as an example. This super chat here says the Ajax dance of Erik ten Hag with Licha and Anthony. Yeah, absolutely love seeing that. Terry, I still remember Pep said that winning the League Cup is what kicked off Man City into becoming champions. This is why he took the League Cup seriously. You have to take it seriously. It's a massively, massively important tournament in terms of building sort of a winning mentality, winning trophies. And I think people in recent years have started to kind of write off FA Cups, write off League Cups. And that's what losers do. The only people that write off these trophies are people that are not in them or can't win them or fail to win them. And honestly, it's absolutely laughable. It really, really is. What do you make of this? Do you think this could be the start of something good for Man United?
Yeah, I do. I was gonna be like rude and say no, but obviously it is.
Should've.
Like watching, I wanted to so bad. I was like, oh yeah, but I mean, just watching them lift the trophy was like, is this gonna be the start of something? Because it probably is. I mean, if you're honest with yourself, when you see what Manchester United are doing, like from my perspective, I think I feel like they've always had enough talent to compete at a certain level. They've always had that level of talent that should be making Champions League and competing for trophies. And now they've added Erik ten Hag and Casemiro and Lisandro Martinez to it, and Anthony and Rashford's in form. And so I think they just have the right cocktail to get them into the right spot. So yeah, I think this is the start for good things for Manchester United. My hope is that the Glazers will see how great things are going now.
Yes.
Pull the plug on that ownership, okay?
Yes.
And do you know what it is? In that moment there, that's where you see it, Man United fans. All these rivals for all these years that have said the Glazers are good, they are petrified about them leaving. Let that sink in. This here says, when City win the League Cup, it's incredible how Pep can compete on all fronts. When Man United win, it's a Mickey Mouse Cup. Ignore the negative, guys. No, Paul, you don't ignore the negatives. You inject it, you breathe it in, and you laugh at these pathetic losers, because that's the only people that say this are losers. Like those idiots when their teams go out of cup competitions and go, well, we can focus on X, Y, and Z now. That is the mentality of losers. Never be a loser. Never go full loser. This super chat here says, congrats, Arsenal and Man United both out of the banter era. Absolutely friggin' right. Banter era done for Man United. Congrats to the Glazers. You blame them for defeats. Listen, this is where, again, you're going to try and banter me and catch me out. Never going to happen. No one's ever caught me out on the terrace once. I blame the Glazers for lots of things. But what have I praised the board for this year? Giving Ten Hag full control, allowing him to get rid of Ronaldo, allowing him to drop Maguire, the way he stopped them from giving Marcus Rashford a new deal in the summer and said he had to work for it. I have stated multiple times on the football terrace that the way the club is run is every bit as important as how much money is spent. I have praised them before they put the club on sale this year for allowing that to happen. So my friend, thank you for confirming me is absolutely right. Good try at catching me out, but never gonna happen. This year says Vedcourse has more trophies than Harry Kane now. There we go.
My
more
God.
trophies than Harry Kane. More trophies than Harry Kane. And this is what it's all, and this is the crazy thing. Look at the excitement here. Look at this excitement on the table over there right now.
Not me.
You don't get this. You don't get this from being the top goal scorer. You don't get this from having the most assists. This only comes from winning silverware, baby. This day goes down in history. Congratulations to Man United, buzzing for them. But back over to the boys because the camera cut off. How you all feeling right now?
Yo.
Oh man, you know what? I tried to be happy for myself during the game. I tried to be confident. I felt good the whole game. On my way here, I got a little bit nervous for maybe 5 minutes. And then KJ started shouting at me for being confident. So then I started getting nervous.
I didn't shout you getting confident. I shouted you because you had your camera in my face. Filming me, bro. There's too many things going on here.
Don't worry about it, bro. But you know what? I'll say this. What's it called? Football is about trophies. Football is about what you lift at the end of the season. Football is about putting your name in the record books. Mm-hmm. If you don't do that, I don't care what you say, your legacy is stained to me personally. So Ten Hag could be great, but if we went on to win nothing at the end of the season, it doesn't count for nothing. Rashford could have a crazy season where he's scoring crazy amount of goals. If you have nothing to show for it at the end of the season, it doesn't matter. But we've done that now, and now we can focus on the FA Cup and try to win some more.
Sorry, I got cut from the technical issue. Normal service is now resuming. Bold is best, people. Bold is best. I am in love with Erik ten Hag so much because what is brought to this football club is something that we've been lacking for a long time. Ever since Fergie's gone, it's been gone. We had no discipline, no winning mentality. We saw it in little spurts here and there on the Jose, on the LVG. We won with a few trophies, but the discipline went out the window straight away. We saw that with different situations, and you can tell that Erik ten Hag has instilled in a mentality that I believe will go further than just this season. It will go further than just next season. These actually can build into something. And people be like, but look at how small the trophy is. But these are the steps that we've been cost for years. We're getting cost for not winning the Carabao Cup, for not winning the FA Cup, for not winning this, not winning that. Now that we've won something, I believe that this is building steps for us to go further and win some more.
And just to add to that, KJ, that this makes me sick as a rival. I'm happy I've got Jesse as well, because surrounded by United fans during this, it wasn't nice. But as a rival, this is normally Pep said it and Mourinho said it. This is normally a catalyst to go on to win more. Like, this is normally your first one. The only team that hasn't is Spurs under Randy Ramos, and they couldn't go on to win anything. But if United get this takeover now under Ten Hag with money, be scared. It kills me to say it, but be scared. No, it's not. It's not beautiful. It's not.
The greatest team in English history, I'm sorry, Roms, I know you're a Liverpool fan, but the greatest team in English history is about to return. And I'm going to love every single moment of it. I don't know about you, DZ, but
I don't know about great.
I don't know about great. All the tears and the hate.
Bro, I almost took my shirt off. I thought, you know, I'm in the room, so I figured I wouldn't.
Listen, I get why rivals are going to want to play it down. I totally understand why people want to do that. But this isn't Tottenham or Swansea, sort of Tottenham back in 2008 or Swansea in sort of 20. What year did they win it?
2013, I think. Yeah.
You can't. It's like a good team kind of winning it. This is a team that's building to win titles, that needs to develop a winning mentality. And even like Rashford, it's his fourth trophy today, but it's his first in 5 years. And you need to start winning them to build that into your side. And that's why if Arsenal win the league this year, this notion that it's going to be a Leicester is nonsense. The club's too big, has too much money and quality to develop a feeling like winning a Premier League and falling away. And this reminds me so much, the feel-good factor at the club, and what KJ just said there. I'm falling in love with what Erik ten Hag has done. I'm exactly the same. The first 2 or 3 games into this season, I was fuming. My anger from the past decade, it was sitting there.
Love those days.
Those
Yeah,
are
can we run it back?
but you saw so quickly the change right from the news that came out that the team got dragged into training the next day and said, right, we were outrun by however many kilometers. Today we're running those kilometers. But he ran with them. And for a lot of people that don't support Man United, they'll look at that as a nothing. What does that mean? But he was showing the players that I'm here with you, but I'm going to make you work hard. The way he dropped Luke Shaw, Rashford, Maguire early on in the season, sent Sancho to the mountains. The way he handled the biggest, most famous football player in the world in Cristiano Ronaldo. Those elements are far more important than the tactics and the system and the play and the patterns, because you can't build those things without a culture and foundation underneath it. And for me, that's what I'm most proud of this season. And those things are what made me fall in love with Ten Hag. And I'm glad he's won this trophy, because there's always going to be pressure as United manager to win trophies every year. Yeah. But to get this drought over with, to win the first tournament possible for you as a manager, it just sets you on a different path. And listen, if Ollie would have won trophies in his first season or so, maybe things could have been different for him. But that's done now. That's dusted. That's over. We're in a new era, absolutely buzzing, chuffed and made up with these players. And it's great to love my football club again. And it isn't because we're winning that I'm in love with them. As I already said, we're behaving right. We're making me proud in terms of our behavior on and off the pitch. And that's that's how I view football. Football, it should be I want my club to reflect how I approach life. And they're doing that right now. So I'm very, very happy indeed with Man United. We've got some of your super chats to put up here. First one says, Terry, Manchester United gave me the best birthday present. Well, I'm happy for you, Andre.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you, bro.
But it wasn't my birthday, because we know how that would have went.
This here says, what's the difference? Arteta winning the FA Cup and Ten Hag winning the Carabao Cup? Panel.
Do you know what? Sorry, the one thing I will say with the Arteta thing, I think it gets played down. He had to beat Chelsea and City, 2 out of the 3 best teams in the country at that moment, with a team that wasn't his. And let's be honest, FA Cup's the more prestigious trophy out of the 2. So for me, that would probably be the only difference. But they're both great achievements.
Can I put my little 2 cents on this one? I think it's so different because of the context of where both managers came in. I think Ten Hag needed this because Manchester United haven't won in a long time, and he needed to kind of just like get that monkey off his back so he can continue to win. Arteta needed to gain respect in general. Yeah. Just in general, regardless if it was his team or not, he came in, we finished 8th, and he had to win something. So it's different. I do think that, like, obviously Ten Hag has more of like a complete team now, and like he has players that he brought in and stuff like that. And Arteta didn't really have that. And then we went through like a low period and now we're coming back up. But winning a trophy in your first 6 months or first couple months as a manager is effing massive, no matter who it is. But it is different, I think. But regardless, like,
I get. Listen, I think that United are also in a different situation where, as you said, we're playing well in the league. We're not going to win the league this year. We're already 9 points behind us, 8 points behind Arsenal. They've got a game in hand. They play a game on Wednesday, and then again before we do. But this will be a point this year where we will feel confident we can go on to win the FA Cup. There'll be a confidence after knocking Barcelona out that we can win the Europa League. And if we finish 3rd in the league this year, maybe even a cheeky 2nd, and pick up another trophy or two from this point, it's an excellent season. And it's a foundation to go on next year to start challenging for all the major trophies. This is massive for Man United. This here says, isn't it funny how Kane has the freedom of a city that he's never lifted a trophy in? It's a madness. Trophies mean
he's going to get a lot of collateral this evening.
Did Maguire actually win a trophy before Harry Kane? Life is so unfair.
Harry Kane strains, man.
It is. My manager, Ten Hag, a.k.a. Say My Name, Heisenberg. Is what Joshua Jack says here. And another one, I love this one. It says, George, come outside. Venkos over Harry Kane.
Yeah. Talking about that. Really, where's George? He said that Spurs will win a trophy before Man United this season.
He did.
This season.
Bring Patrick here. We're right.
Patty, George, all the Spurs fans that would like to chat mouths like to us, like that done something. They were moving like they've been lifting trophies for centuries. Bro, their cabinet is dust. I don't even think they have a cabinet no more because the rot has set in. It's literally just falling apart by itself. I don't termites everywhere, bro. Jimmy's the head one. I don't get it.
And not even sort of like bantering Spurs on this. This is the thing in the summer, and this is why Man United fans today celebrate. If you drink alcohol, drink some alcohol. If you smoke shisha, go smoke shisha. If you just want to eat. If you can do all three, do it. Goated. The reason you've got to celebrate is the reason that Jords and the reason that Gooners and the reason that Liverpool fans and everyone was laughing at us at the start of the season is because no one gave us a cat's chance in hell.
Facts.
Hell was going to freeze over before Man United won a trophy. United weren't getting anywhere near the top four. I remember being about 7-8 points away. We're playing well, saying, "Do you think United could, win a trophy this season? Do you think they'd turn a corner on the top 6 show?" Everyone's response was, "No, no, no, no." So United fans tonight bask in the glory, bathe in the tears of rivals who are crying tonight. Remember, as I said a few weeks ago, Spurs fans, Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans, City fans, Chelsea fans, we are all one of the, we're biggest rivals to nearly all of them. One of the biggest rivals to each and every single one of them. The pain in them tonight is massive. So drink it in, bask in it, because we were written off at the beginning of this season, given no chance. When we improved, we were written off. Now look at us, walking around with a trophy, winners' medals, and a team full of confidence, an amazing spirit, a togetherness. And we're going to move on to the game in a moment. And the first person we're going to start with, though, is, and with the best DM and one of the best central midfielders in the world, with an exquisite goal today, Casemiro proving, in my opinion, I'm saying it now, there's still a long way to go this season, but as it stands right now, Casemiro has been the signing of the season. Helped to transform Man United. He's been a leader on and off the pitch. He has led us and put a man of the match performance in a cup final in England to give us our first trophy in 6 years. Casemiro, take a bow. My son, what a signing, what a season, and what a game from him. How good, gentlemen, was Casemiro today?
Flawless. Absolutely flawless. He showed his experience, his quality, his tenacity, everything you want from a central defensive midfielder. He showed today, and then he added the cherry on top, which was the goal, and a beautiful header that many strikers right now wouldn't even be able to score. Like the way that this guy has come in and transformed this team. We got to remember, in the summer, he sat there, watched us lose 2 on the bounce, and said, "Don't worry, I'm coming." Yeah. He came on a mission. He came and he saw, actually, if I'm in this team, I can actually make a difference. And it wasn't arrogance. It wasn't bravado. It is the fact that he knows his aura, he knows his presence, he knows his quality. And not many players have that kind of pride. You saw it when he scored the equalizer against Chelsea, how just the pride and the passion that you had for playing for this club. How many players of that quality have come to this football club and showed that kind of desire, passion to win, passion to improve us? Not many. Most of them came in for a payday. They came in for a good time, not a long time. Casemiro came on a mission. He's come and he's delivering. And right now, as much as I love Rashford and the form that he's in, he is Man United's player of the season, hands down, because
it's even the small things where he was amping up the crowd and stuff. He just knows how to win, that winning mentality and taking nothing away from header. I think you hit the nail on the head. A lot of strikers aren't even scoring that header. So I think he was amazing. Definitely my man of the match.
I love the guy. Him, Martinez, I love him. I'm not gonna lie. They are what we've been asking for from United players. I think they are what any fan wants from their players. Players that actually want to be their one, that show the passion, that show the commitment, where they're making clearances and tackles and they're celebrating them like goals. That's the type of stuff that you want to see from your defensive players. And I said it last year when we was talking about, what's going wrong at United and et cetera, et cetera. I said, you win and lose games in the midfield. If you can't control the ball, if you can't control the midfield, you're gonna struggle in every game. And we put Casemiro in, and now Rashford looks like he can actually play football. What a surprise!
So it's crazy. I said it in the game against Barcelona, and I'll say it again. He wears the shirt, and it's not heavy.
Yeah,
he wears it, he fits it, he fills it out, and not just in terms of muscles, but again, aura, bravado, the pride. He feels that, and that is just oozed through the whole team. It's infected everyone else. Last few seasons, we've been infected with the wrong things. And people want to call certain players viruses. If you think it was, but he is the antivirus. You know what I mean? He's been one of the cures in this team from a player standpoint. And hey, if we get him for another 4 or 5 years, if his body holds up, we are in for a good time.
We absolutely are. And listen, I mean, as Nick says here, it says that he's the best midfielder in the world. Listen, I think he is. You know, I rate him. He's my player. I'm, of course, biased in this, but he is absolutely sensational. And I think the way he's come in, and what you said there, KJ, spot on, that the shirt isn't heavy for him. He's able to come in. He's got the swagger. And maybe it's because he was at Real Madrid and he's Brazilian. You know, there's no country to play for with more pressure on you than a Brazilian. Fact. And there's no other club, probably barring Man United in the world, with as much pressure on you as Real Madrid, the scrutiny you get. And he's come in and he's done it with absolute ease, and it's giving everybody confidence. And now what you've got to hope is that confidence seeps through into these players, stays with these players, and they're able to learn to do what he does when he's not there. And I think for me, that's what's going to be key. And it's why in the summer when we signed him, and there was a lot of people talking about, you know, should you really have got him? Should you have gone for like a younger player? He's not going to be here in 5 or 6 years. My thoughts then are exactly the same as they are now. No, it's no disrespect to anybody else's rebuild or the profile of player they want to buy. Man United cannot afford to wait 3 to 4 years into a rebuild to win a trophy. We get too much scrutiny. We have to win now and build. And Casemiro is going to enable us to help build a team that is going to be challenging for Premier League titles year in, year out from next season, but he's also going to pick up trophies along the way. And listen, I'm very, very proud that he's a Manchester United player. No shadow of a doubt. What I'm also proud of, though, is being sponsored by Manscaped. You see the slick slide? But no wonder I'm slicking and sliding, because this thing here keeps my ball bags, butt cracks, and dolphin's beak as smooth and as clean and as odor-free as you like. A 20% discount now. A 20% discount now is available via the Manscaped website. You can scan that QR code on the screen or click on the link in the description below. Use promo code TFT20. All the information for that is in the description, as I say, and get your 20% discount off of all Manscaped products, including their lawnmower 4.0. Hear that, bad boy? Rubber tips so you don't hurt your nip. That's all I'm going to say, right? You're absolutely fine. Plus, this bad boy here, ball bag deodorant. Keeps you fresh, keeps you clean. If you're not using it, it means you don't love your partner. So if you're a woman watching this now in the background and your husband or your boyfriend's watching it and he isn't putting deodorant on his balls, he don't love you. Get rid of him. 100%. Jack him in. Who would want to be with a guy with smelly balls? Get it done now. Get it bought. That's how you sell things. Pressure. That's how you do it. Let's go to some more of these super chats that have come through here. First one says, Arsenal fans need to pipe down. United have won a trophy this season. As it stands, Arsenal have won nothing this season. Nothing. Baz1 says, I'm very pleased, but not over the moon because I want more.
Terry,
let's
to add to that super chat, I'm not sure if this is true, but allegedly Ten Hag even said one trophy is not enough for a parade. Did he want 2 instead of 1?
Yeah, by the way, if Man United try and do a parade with a Carabao Cup, I'll be embarrassed. We're too big for that.
Yeah,
I mean, Newcastle had to confirm they wouldn't have one if they lost. Like, for me, don't stoop that low.
But Terry, context of that, because it's been so long, do you maybe think you should?
No. You got that right. I liked Terry so much when he was an Arsenal fan. De Gea broke Man United's clean sheet record.
Yeah.
Well done, David De Gea. He deserves it.
A few big saves as well.
Yeah.
Congrats to United. You are back. Souness and Carragher said Martinez was too small. Casemiro was a steady Eddie. Maguire 1-0 to Kane on trophies. Listen, there's a lot of pundits when it comes to the Casemiro signing. And I want to talk about Lissandro because, again, just another flawless performance from, what is it you called him at the start of the season, Jay? Was it?
Lissandro Lannister.
Yes, Lissandro Lannister. How good a season has he had?
Yeah, he's had a great season. I knew he'd be good because Arteta wanted him, and Arteta never misses. Okay, let's be for real. But he is really, really good. And like, obviously, we got our fun. Like, I'm all about getting your fun in while you can, And the fun ran out because he looks exceptional. Obviously, like, I think he's probably top 3 center backs in the league. He's up there, and he is consistent every single game. And it's not just, his ability to play the ball out of the back, which I think is really useful, but it's his tenacity and his attitude and his aggression and his timing of his tackling, like everything. He's so well-rounded. And so, yeah, from my perspective, no hate here. I think he's an amazing player. And yeah.
And you know what? We never used to celebrate clearances and saves and stuff like that until Lissandro got here. So you could tell that while Varane is kind of like the silent leader, Lissandro is like he's the emotional. He gets them jazzed up. He gets them going. He gets them focused and that type of thing. I love the guy, man. I absolutely love him. He's an absolute lunatic, and I love him.
I was saying to you and KJ while we were watching the game, I know it takes a lot to be a United legend, but I honestly believe he will go down as a legend by the time he leaves your football club. I think he's amazing. It kills me to say it.
Depends. Obviously, we got to win the Premier League.
That's what I said. There's a lot to do first.
He's definitely put himself in the running to do that so early on as well. The fans already love him. His performances say it all. He dies for the badge. He will kill for the manager. He will do everything and anything to make sure this team wins. And at the back, we've not had that in a long time. We've seen a lot of players at the back in recent years go into their shells. When the pressure is on, it's, oh no, I can't make a mistake, and then they end up making more mistakes. Some of them are super rash. Some of them are really really fearful. But he has just come in and he's up for every fight. He's going against strikers 6 foot, 6'2", 6'3", and he don't care.
Yeah.
He will look them dead in the eyes and be like, bro, I will clean you today. And that's what we've been missing at the back. We've had some. Listen, I don't want to go on and bag on players, but we have had taller centre backs look timid, real timid when there's a fight.
And you know what?
So we look at the fact that he's it.
I want to point out a pivotal moment. You know when he put off Shah for the header, I think in the first 15 minutes. That's so people don't look at those things, but that was so key, so key.
His aggression is controlled. It's not rash.
Yeah.
He said in an interview recently as well, like, it's easy to be emotional, it's easy to get angry, but you have to control it. You have to be able to.
Well, but that's the thing with Lissandro. He isn't doing things in games where he's putting us at risk of going down to 10 men. I mean, he considered a penalty for a handball in the beginning of the season against Real Sociedad, which was never a penalty. He doesn't do stupid things. It's, as you say, controlled aggression in the right areas, and he knows how to wind people up. He knows how to tackle. He's sensational, and I think that he was written off because I don't even actually think people had an issue with his height, because if you spent 5 minutes researching him and how good he'd been in the Netherlands, you would realize that he was going to be good enough. But Man United were in a bad space, and it's just been fashionable to criticize every single thing that Manchester United do. And that's exactly what happened. Lissandro, the fact that Casemiro was slagged off as a signing tells you all you need to know about it was a safe bet to say United signings are rubbish, because the majority of our signings have failed in the last 10 years. But there was a difference this year, and it was ignored by the mainstream media. And that was the manager who was being given genuine control, not just to bring in who he wants, but he could control the discipline element and the culture of the dressing room. And in fairness to LVG, who won a trophy, in fairness to Jose, who won trophies, they were never given that control. And they've both spoke about it publicly since. We know that they weren't able to. And I think for me, that's the biggest fundamental difference here. Lissandro was a star signing in the summer. You notice that no one talks about the £50 million that he cost. No one talks about it. No one speaks about the wages that Lissandro and Casemiro are on. And I do think you're right, Romsey. He does have the makings to be a Man United legend. Yeah, he does. Our club's a little different from many others in England. It's going to take multiple major trophies to get there. But the feel-good factor already there. The love's already there for him. The fans have already bought into this kid 110%. He's one trophy down. You had a couple this year, win a Prem next year, Champions League the year after. People will start to talk about this guy has everything about him to become a legend of this football club.
100%.
I'll say this though. We've been terrible for so long that whoever the first batch of players that brings United back to winning the Prem, they would have to go down in United history. Because since Sir Alex Ferguson's gone, we haven't had a sniff of a Premier League.
Yeah, so you know what it is though, because the other set of players under Fergie have done so much. It's going to be hard. It will definitely have the sets of players, not just this team, but maybe going on forward. Maybe if they win the Premier League, if they win the Champions League, those set of players would definitely have its own part in United's history.
Absolutely,
where they can say, you know what, these guys were special to us. for the fact that they was able to drag us out of something that in 10 years that we were just stuck in for a long time. So I'm looking forward to what these guys are going to bring. And I hope if these guys go, if the people that run this football,
Please stay, please.
leave Manchester United, we're back. We'll be back. We will be back. And no one can stop.
That's the scary thing about it. You actually would be, and rivals just need to accept it. If this takeover happens, you just have to accept it. Have to.
There's another player though that I want to also mention today because I think he came on and he was astounding, and his resurgence since the World Cup, I think needs every bit of much of applause as anybody's, and that's Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, 100%.
Who was written off by all of us. Listen, £50 million flop needs to go. For me, I don't want the club to look at a new right back. I feel like we could focus that money in other areas. With AWB and Delo, neither are perfect. But I want to give them both one more year. I think they're both this season earned the right to have one more year for one of them to stake a claim to be the main guy, because Delo's been great the majority of the season, but the resurgence of AWB is something I didn't expect. Is something that I didn't think that we would see. And he came on today, and Sir Maximin was cooking Delo in that first half, and AWB came on and said, "Sit down, boy. Cut that. Get rid. Cut it out, sit down, shut up." And he ended him. And there was a great tackle from him that nearly led to a counter-attack goal as well. And that kind of epitomizes everything good about him. What are you guys saying? Should he be given more time at United now, or still should they strengthen that position at the end of the season?
It's tough because what he can do is so brilliant. Like defensively, he's brilliant. And that it's just that, okay, when he was in that position for the chance that we could have got from the count from his own tackle, he ended up making the wrong decision. And there's a couple of times there was touches in the box where you're like, no, Aaron, drive. Like, how?
But me and you were saying it during the game, yeah.
His confidence going forward is not there. And if Terry Ten Hag can still work with him and he's still willing to learn as a player and get more out of him, I will happily keep him at the club. It's down to him. And that's what I'll say. It's down to him. I'm loving his form. But we've seen what can happen with him.
Football,
but then
I feel like it's changing now, though. I feel like managers are looking at players that can do special things in special moments. And now that we have 5 subs, there's an opportunity to use players as like starters and finishers, for certain situations. And I thought it was like the perfect thing. It's like Dallow's better going forward. He unfortunately got that yellow card, but you knew as soon as you brought Aaron Wan-Bissaka in, you shut him down. And I think sometimes like you need players that have special skills. Like now that you have 5 subs, Aaron Wan-Bissaka becomes a player, in my opinion, that has such a special skill that you want to keep him because you have the additional subs to use him in particular scenarios, and he's so good at it. I don't think there's any reason to move on from Aaron Wan-Bissaka, especially not short term.
Well, yeah, no, you're right. Like special players I know other sports have like special teams, and I think that AWB, he's perfect. There isn't a better one-on-one defender in terms of fullbacks in the world. No one is as good at one-on-one defending as he is. And as much as there's more to being a fullback than one-on-one defending, as you say, we've got 5 subs to use now in games, and there's horses for courses. And I think that maybe listen, we've seen fullbacks evolve from being defensively minded, solid fullbacks to these marauding, attacking fullbacks like Trent. Now the inverted fullbacks becoming more popular. Or maybe we're going to also see a situation there where you don't have a permanent fullback, and it's actually Delo's best for this team. I think AWB's best for this game. I think I think for me, there's something in that.
Just to echo what Jess said, I think just because of his defensive prowess alone, you keep him at the club beyond the summer. And I think for scenarios like today, just to see out a game, I think he's perfect. I think he should stay personally.
I hear it.
Yeah, what's cool? I'll just quickly say, Ten Hag's man management is severely underrated.
Yeah,
I think everybody fell in love with the tacticals, the Pep Guardiolas, the tiki-taka football. That they kind of discarded that these people are humans. They need to be cared for in a specific manner. They need to feel like they're important for the team. They need to feel like they're a part of something. And Ten Hag, like Arteta, they've done really good jobs of making everybody feel like they're part of a greater cause. And if he's willing to stay, I say we keep him.
No, this is not me bagging on him, because I actually love AWB. I loved him when he first came. And I want this to continue. For me, I just keep going. Don't get complacent.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what you're doing, and your future is set.
But you're right though, Dizzy. The world has become overly obsessed with ability and technique, and we've stopped focusing on, are you good at a particular job on a football pitch?
Yeah.
It's a team sport. Yes, idealistically, you'd love AWB to be the best one-on-one defender, the best crosser, the best dribbler, the best passer, to have all those attributes. But we've seen with Trent has still got one of the best crosses and passes in the world. But because Liverpool are struggling at the moment, you've seen all of these flaws come out. If Liverpool had been this poor for the last 5 or 6 years, Trent would still be as good a crosser. He just wouldn't have been able to excel at that. And now that Man United are strengthening their squad, they've become a resolute group. You're seeing individual players' strengths come out. Ironically, even Maguire in the last few months, when he's come on in games, 10, 15 minutes to shore things up, we've gone brilliant. He should never have been an £85 million star centre-back. He should have been, in the modern-day era, a £25, £30 million backup centre-back to your main guys. And you'd love him. You'd love Harry Maguire if he was there as a backup to come on to see out games for the last 10, 15 minutes. If he was starting in games against average teams to, give your guys a rest, very much like Henningberg's or David Mays of old at Man United. That is where he should be. Yeah. And that's why Ten Hag, as you've said already, Dizzy, I think you're spot on. His man management is brilliant. He knows who to use, where, what, and when. The amount of times in games recently where you'll have Weghorst start as a 9, then he goes into the 10. Rashford might move into the 9 position. He's got that spot on. The only time he probably didn't get it as accurate, as good as you want was today. We didn't go on to score again. But he comes in and he brings in Sabitzer and McTominay, who come in and they stop that onslaught of attack from Newcastle. Because I don't think for another 20, 25 minutes, we would have maintained that pressure from them. Sabitzer came in with McTominay, and they barely laid on a glove on us again after that. And that is not just man management on the day and in-game management. That's keeping these players hungry every day. So they know that when I come in, I'm not coming in because I'm a bit part. I'm coming in because that's my job.
But it's not even, you guys haven't even named some of the biggest ones. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Rashford, Sancho, Rashford and Sancho. Like, for me, those are the biggest in terms of like man management in different ways, knowing exactly how to manage Rashford so that he could become the player that he is. And then sending Sancho away. Now he's coming back, and like, obviously he's going to be like a new signing for you guys. Like, I've always rated Ten Hag. I think he just was due the step up, and you can see like he's just working his magic. And I really like what Dizzy said about, it's not just about tiki-taka. It's about noticing that these players are people, getting in tune with that so that they can become the best players and people that they can be. Like, not to be too mushy, but like, it's actually really cool seeing what Ten Hag is doing.
Yeah, it certainly is. And that's why I always talk about like reflection of life. Like, I want to see my club behave in this way.
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho, one of the greatest managers of the last 2 decades. But the way he was talking about our players publicly, he had players leaving to go have children, and he was angry about it.
Yeah.
That isn't how you want to see your football club behave, because it's a bad look. It's a bad look, and you don't want your club to be like that. We've got some more super chats here. Chike, he says, congrats on winning the League Cup, Terry. United will win the league next season. I'm counting on it. Also, the answer to what the US state produces the most diamonds is what's that say? Arkansas. They've been doing it since the 1970s. Oh, thank you very much, my friend. I didn't know that. No Qatar. I'd rather have CIA buy Man U. Qatar has human rights. Do you guys see KJ is so happy? Safe is in love with KJ. Send the link.
The CIA, bro.
Can you imagine?
American CIA.
I know we've got an American.
I'm down for that.
I know we've got an American in the room, but no disrespect. Like, the CIA have done a few bad things as well, you know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
A few bad things.
But like, you've got to remember, this guy wanted. Yeah, they've definitely done a few bad things.
Yeah, one or two.
One or two things they probably should have done. Terry, today is my son's birthday. The birth of my son is the happiest day of my life. Today just made it even better. Glory, glory, Man United. Well, first of all, congratulations on your son's birthday, the birthday of your son. Hope that you, your family, all having wonderful days. And of course, United winning this trophy today makes it even better. No doubt. Or Casemiro today. AWB is one of the best one-on-one fullbacks in the league. Aronson Maximum, Traore with a bit of skill, keeps going inside because he didn't want to face up to him. Seriously underrated. Look, listen, I thought he was gone because his confidence went. That AWB year one at Man United, I didn't care that he wasn't as good as Trent going forward. I used to actually enjoy watching people attack him because I never felt worried or vulnerable that we were going to concede down that line. Man United fans got into him too much because we became obsessed with not being like everybody else. I want to be like Pepper. We need to have... It was almost like we'd look at all the best players at other clubs and go, well, we need our own Trent. We need our own Aguero. We need our own... No, we don't. We're Man United. We need our version of brilliance. And AWB, look, he's got a long way to go until I think he's the permanent Man United right back, but his resurgence has been brilliant. He deserves nothing but credit. I love Ten Hag and Casemiro. It is the new king of Old Trafford. A great win. Let's move forward. KJ, are you giving free wins, Man United versus Barca, or could you change your mind?
What the deal? We just won a trophy. You want to come and chat crap? Listen,
I don't even know what that means.
I think he's trying to say that I was going to be like, oh yeah, just let Barca win. I didn't say let Barca win. I said if they had won, I was saying that, if they had won, I can understand why that would happen. I don't see.
Yeah, you were saying if you rotated for that game, you could understand it.
Yeah.
But me and Nabil were right by saying play full strength team both and win them both.
Yeah. I'm happy. We're both happy. So why is he trying?
Absolutely. Ericsson went to a different league, came back to the Premier League and won a trophy before Spurs.
You know what? Can I say this really quick? Today proves that trophies are important. All the club people that try to say that trophies aren't important and it's top four that matters and it's what we're actually trophies matter. Look at how they're cooking.
Listen, that's just the aim of elite sport in general. Is to win trophies. It's to win.
It is what it is. A man of the match is Roms, poor guy. What torture yourself?
You know, I'm not alone. Jess is also here as well.
It's not just Roms tried to do like not a double bluff, but it was like, I'm gonna go because it's going to be brilliant if they lose.
Yeah, that was in my thinking.
He had to risk it. He had to risk.
That was in my thinking as well.
Barca just lost to who?
Almeria.
United broke them.
Bro.
Title of the video tomorrow. Love it. Congrats, guys. I'm going to cry. No whiskey. Haram is what's... listen, I hear you, bro. Congrats, Terry. I hate your team, but love your channel. A safe place for all fans.
Hey, come on.
Perfect comment.
Unless you're the tech guy. Unless you're the tech guy today, it's not gonna be safe. It's not safe. Whenever Ten Hag brings on players to finish a game, United very rarely ever concede goals. His man management and in-game management is brilliant. It is, and do you know what? It was also a lot of people said in the build-up to this game, he's bottled some finals. And I was a bit worried that I didn't want to even talk that into existence in previews, nothing. And I was sitting there watching at 70 minutes when we're winning. And I'm thinking, please see this through. Please let us win. Because I just think I don't care what he did or didn't do at Ajax to a degree. I care about his Man United form. Man's got like a 73% win ratio since he's joining. 100% record in cup finals so far. Man is a winner. Man is a winner.
Tell me, maybe Safe was right. Remember when Safe wanted 80% win?
Yeah.
Maybe he's right.
It's crazy. Do you know what's so good about today as well? We got to one. I think we get to one final with Oli, the Carabao, the Europa League. We got to a number of semi-finals, and we always fouled at this hurdle. Or just before it, and we let ourselves down. We were angry. It just feels so nice to be like, we're winning trophies again. And listen, I'm not a glory hunter in the sense of I don't think it's all the end result is to win trophies, but it's about doing yourselves proud. And equally, Newcastle will probably look at today and still be proud of that performance. Just to talk on them because they're not as good as Man United. They don't have as good a manager or team yet. They're building towards it. They didn't go down without a fight. When I've seen Man United go out in some semi-finals as of late, get beat by Villarreal that never won a trophy in their history, I felt we went out with a whimper. And I was embarrassed of the performance more than I was losing. And I think for me, that's what the pride I'm feeling is. I'm proud of how we perform. I really do. Terry Barca lost today. Did we break them? Listen, I'm going to say it. We broke them, baby. We broke them. We absolutely broke them. Imagine we had lost this, Terry. Terry, this journey has been so good. And we have been on this ride since the old channel days. Big up yourself and the studio. Glory. Listen, Original Base Annie was here when it was the Devil's Bus TV. we've been through pain as Man United fans, especially the last six years. It has been awful seeing Liverpool nearly win quads and be the best team in the world. Watching City, our City rivals, literally City rivals, go on to be one of the best teams this country's produced. Arsenal starting their resurgence before us. And it was only a few months ago. I'm praising Arsenal because I've got to praise teams when they do well on the channel. But I'm sitting there thinking, we lost our opening 2 games. Arsenal are looking good. I live with a Gooner. How is this going to go? What will become of me?
I love those days, man. That was.
I can't lie. Footballing wise here, I don't remember the last time I felt this good. It was probably when we won the Champions League in 2008. Now, I'm not saying this is as big because there's bigger things to come.
Yep.
But with what we've been through in the last decade, half a decade without winning a trophy, the pain I've suffered on all these streams, today's one of the best moments I've had as a Man United fan, no doubt. The EPL is good when Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea and City are all strong competitively. Salute Man United is what Israel says. No mention.
They're holding so much collateral today.
Do you realize that Man United is winning on the culture and structure? They haven't even bought players yet. Scary hours. Well, we did buy some. We did buy Anthony and Cass and Lissandro. Anthony, by the way, I thought Anthony had a decent game today. Spin first half, then skills from Anthony.
Oh, yeah, nah,
Dan Burn and Joe Linton were kicking him.
Yeah, what he did to Dan Burn was illegal, bro. Like he has a wife and kids, man. Don't do that.
It's funny as well because it was Gunnar saying to me the other day, well, he won't achieve anything like Pepe did year 1 because I think Pepe won FA Cup in his first season, didn't he? So he's won a trophy now as well. My boy is not the flop of the century. That's all I'm gonna say. And I don't know why Gunners are arguing so much. We should all just come together and be like, yeah. It's Lukaku to Chelsea. Like, why are we fighting each other for the crown when Chelsea have got £100 million flop and didn't win a trophy?
That's who's going to be back at their doorstep. And
next year, exactly.
I know what else we want to buy, but it's peak, bro.
Exactly. We threw that game away in 6 minutes. I'm fine with losing. That's football. I just hate that we had this is a carbon copy of the Liverpool game.
Which run?
Though.
You know what though? Credit to Newcastle. The second half, they dominated that second half, man. We couldn't live with them for large parts of it. All they were missing was the cutting edge, that final pass to really create something. But full credit to Newcastle. They did it.
They're not going to look at this as like, okay, now we're just going to go backwards and back. Like, this is actually for them probably a learning experience that they will probably take into their next final. Because I guarantee you,
they'll be back.
Next 5 years, they'll be in a final or 2 again. And this squad is literally most of them have not won a trophy in that squad. A lot of them have this is like the biggest stage that they've actually been on in their career. So this team is going to go places. And one of the reasons why I wanted to win so badly, because I could not give them the chance to taste that victory. Because if they tasted victory, I would be more scared because they already honored like a mad trajectory. Imagine with a trophy in the first 6 months of the season. It would have been very, very fearful.
Yeah,
so,
they should be proud of themselves.
Very proud of them.
They're also going to use this to fuel themselves. And when they get to this stage again, because they'll get to many domestic cup finals again, challenging for leagues maybe in 2-3 years' time, they'll remember this hurt, and this is what they'll use to motivate them.
Well, it's the hurt that hurt and success, if they're both weaponized in the right way, are powerful. They really, really are. Nabil here says, "Where is George? Bring him on." Why hate on David De Gea? Why is hate on David De Gea is coming from? If the Glazer stays, it will be the last trophy. I hope not, but Erik ten Hag ain't a miracle worker. Listen, Jules will be on soon. De Gea hate, I don't know where that's coming from. I'm going to ignore it because there's no point giving it any fuel today. Look, if the Glazers stay, as long as they let football people make football decisions, we can win. If they stay and get investment and the debt's cleared and we've got money to spend, we can win. Would I prefer them to go? Absolutely. But with no debt and then letting us make football decisions, we can still win. But I would rather them. We know how we know that's true is we did it when Fergie was here because they didn't control the football element and they didn't have bankers running the football element. But I'm hoping they go. I think they'll go.
Glazers out, baby.
And we'll move on from there. We're going to do some more super chats in a minute. I'm about to tweet this, though. I'm about to tweet this, and I mean this. No one deserves it more than Bruno Fernandes. And I say that because there's lots of players in this Man United team that have won trophies before at other clubs. So is he, to be fair. But I sort of feel like Bruno Fernandes, he came in that January and he has been so good consistently for us. We failed to win some trophies. Even when the team was bad, he was still a guy fighting, running, working. He has become the captain, even though it's not official yet while Maguire is still here. And he's led us as captain, to his first trophy at the club. He's ended the goal drought as captain. And he's been ridiculed even by a lot of Man United fans as great goals, great assists, great this, great that. But where's the trophies? And for me, I'm just glad today that he's put his haters, forget rivals, they're always going to hate him. He's Man United haters. I'm glad he's put them all in a spliff and he's shut them all down because he's got that trophy. You can't say now, where's the trophies? He's got the trophy. And I believe, we talk about Lissandro becoming a legend. Bruno Fernandes, because of his goal scoring and goal creativity ratio and his leadership skills, if we start winning more, this guy bona fidely could go down as one of our best captains because for me, he's a superstar.
When he came to United, I don't know what everybody else saw. Everybody was like sending him a lot of hate and a lot of smoke his way. Even like you said, United fans. I saw our future. Everybody else saw his misplaced passes. And to me personally, you don't come into a season because if you remember where we were when he came, we were in the pits.
We were 8th or 9th.
No, we were in the pits, bro. We were down bad. I think we just lost to Brighton, was it?
Burnley.
Sorry, yeah, we just lost to Burnley, and we was looking at that season. It was January, and it was like, yeah, we could be in relegation form right now.
I'm getting the flash. Don't stop.
Bro,
carry on.
So full respect to Bruno, I love him. He might misplace passes. He's a very frustrating, but then again, we also have Fred.
Yeah.
So matter of perspective.
You know that again. People will pick on at the end what he did. Like, could have squared it to Sancho. Should have scored. Like, I was fuming because I just wanted. I wanted another goal. I wanted another goal. But at the end of the day, what he brings to Man United is not just on the pitch, but it's the intangibles. He's off the pitch. He has fought for every manager that he's had.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Whether it be Ole, whether it be Ragnick, whether it be Erik ten Hag, he has fought for every manager that he's had. Every manager that he has picks him for a reason. And his mentality, it takes a lot for rival players to hate you, like hate. Like I have seen rivals say they hate him with a passion. You know what that means? That he fights for the club. He is doing things that winds up the opposition. And not every team needs that. It's very rare. Like I was saying, we were talking about earlier, Arsenal don't really have that one player, but they got Mikel Arteta. You know what I mean? Every club needs that guy that just will do whatever it needs to do, like whether it be moaning at the ref, or it'll be like moaning at the other players, whether it's taking risks. Everyone needs that kind of player. And Bruno's like,
and when you said the rivals thing, that rivals sometimes hate a player, it's also because there's an element of respect. We don't like to admit it, but there's also that element of respect that comes with it.
You're absolutely right. And look, Bruno's a player that I have stood by from day one because I knew what he would bring for us in the end. I knew that he would win trophies with us. I know. I'm saying this now. I mean it. Now that we know there's light at the end of the tunnel with the Glazers leaving, he will captain us to league titles. And he will captain us to Champions League victory as well in his career. Because I believe it. I believe he will because he's won the trophy today and he hasn't said, I'm so glad to have my trophy. I've achieved my dream. He said, I'm glad I've got my first trophy here, but I want more. This guy is elite because the goals, I just want to say, the goals matter, the assists matter, the creativity matters. He said it we're talking to Rio Ferdinand. He's like, I'd love to have 95% pass completion, but what I care about is that we win the games. And of course he's going to make mistakes, but disgraceful Man United fans have focused on his mistakes more than the brilliance that he's brought to us. They all stated that Ten Hag's a manager that loves ballers. He'll be gone. It'll be Donny. It'll be Eriksson. He won't play. He's Ten Hag's goddamn captain because he has the ability, he has the tenacity, he has the work rate and the leadership skills. And he doesn't care if he's the top goal scorer. Rivals can banter and go, oh, where's the GA gone? Bruno only wants Man United winning. And he said it the other day, I would rather square the ball to Weghorst to get some more goals for him and his confidence up than me scoring because I think that's better for the team in the long run.
Where was that for Sancho today, Tony? Where was that for Sancho today?
Because we're 2-0 up. We don't need a win. But this guy is elite. And listen, all the players today deserve it. The manager deserves it. I'm happy for every single United player. But for me, I reserve a little special place for Bruno to say he deserves it more than any other player on that pitch today, simply because for me, in the last 3 years, no one has cared more than him. No one has worked harder than him. No one has delivered more than him. Nobody is Man United more than him. He is the epitome of what this great historical club is built upon, and he makes me proud, win, lose or draw, to be a Man United fan. And I can look past a bad game. I can look past him giving away possession too much. I can look past his arm waving and he's, some of the things that are frustrating. All of that doesn't matter to me. This guy is cut from the same cloth as Brian Robson's and Roy Keane's and Gary Neville's and Vidic's. This is the beginning as his era as a successful Manchester United captain. Could not be prouder. He's a goddamn legend
Terry,
in the making.
there's something you said there that scares me even more. When you're like, he's not really just happy with the Carabao Cup. That coincides with Ten Hag's vision as well. They both want, this isn't enough for them. They both want to win more and more. Like, obviously they're going to be happy they won today, their first trophy, but this just isn't enough. They're already thinking of the next one and the next one, and that's what's scary.
And do you know what's crazy? I remember, and this is maybe younger United fans don't know this stuff because they just weren't old enough or born. But Patrice Evra did an interview maybe in about 08, 09. And he said that when they won the Carabao Cup in 2006, he said he thought it was going to be a party night, maybe have a few drinks and chill. And it was like they got into the changing room. When all the cameras left, they all packed up, and the experienced United players had been there for years. Not him and Vidic and some of the younger guys, the Rooneys and the Ronaldos. All the experienced guys that won before, it was pack up. It was back on the coach on the way home. And they said it was quite a subdued bus ride. And he's like, I think he asked Giggsy, what's going on? He went, tomorrow we train. We've got a Premier League game next week. And he's like, we just won a trophy. He went, yeah, and it's midway through the season, so back to work. And Evra's mind was shot. He's like, wow, that's different. Again, that's elite.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it rude. Celebrate today, but from tomorrow, you forget this. Maybe tomorrow evening you forget it, and we've got to beat West Ham in the FA Cup. You don't let this become a hangover. Winning mentality. This super chat here says we threw the game in six. Sorry, already done that one. Sorry. Did anyone see Phil Jones live on Sky Sports saying United are back?
No,
listen. I love Phil Jones because I actually, for all the players that have been toxic at the club, the fact he ain't kicked the ball really for 3 years and he's just, he's picking up his £1 million a month. He's all right, isn't he? Do you know what?
Terry KJ, he must be Maldini in training, because how's he survived every manager?
Phil Jones is a master of staying at Man United. He will be ready to be sold and then get an injury to join the transfer.
My dad taught me that. This is a lesson. If there's any young kids watching, maybe your dad's watching, you're in the background. My dad taught me this as a kid. You know when your mum and dad have friends over and it's quite nice sitting in the living room listening to the adults talk and stuff. My dad always used to my little brother would always open up his mouth. He'd always open up his mouth, right? And it'd be like, right, my dad would notice we were all there still. We're right, kids, bed. So what I learned to do is keep your mouth shut in the background. You stay up a bit later. Yep. Phil Jones probably just hides a lot. They probably forget he's there.
Or you know what I mean? He trains with the under 23s when he's supposed to be there.
He's probably like sweeping up with the janitors, helping the tea ladies get the tea ready. He's probably just doing all sorts of things to not lose his job. This is from Tywin Lannister, Martial's dad. How you doing, bro? Not Martial, Martinez's dad. So happy with the cup win. I'm elated. However, this is all for now if the Glazers are still here next. I understand that, but I don't want to think about that today. Today is party day. Do you know what I'm saying? Today is party day. Strasbourg Steve says, thing is, I can't guarantee anything in life. I get sentiment. It just hurts right now. And it should hurt, right? If it doesn't hurt you right now, you don't love your club. That's why when people get knocked out of cup tournaments and they go, oh, it's okay, we can focus on the league. I'm like, you're a lying son of a gun. If you ain't hurting when your team loses, in fact, if you ain't hurting when your team draws, you don't love your club. Facts. Good seeing Terry happy as a fan for a while. Listen, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've been happy. I've also had a very tough start to 2023, and it's kind of weird. The pains ain't hurting now. I'm elated. I don't know. Lots been going on. You'll all find out soon one day. But yeah, listen, I'm very elated. 17 years and you still have not learned anything. Nabil, I've been schooling man like you on the Glazers since day dot. They're only here for money. No, I get that. But I was answering your question. I don't think we will not win anything if they're here. Do you know why I think that, Nabil? Because we won today and they're here. Like, we can win without them, but of course we want them gone. But don't throw out statements that are stupid, because today proves your statement's wrong because we won and they're here. That's all I'm saying. Think about it. Do you guys realize that Man United could make a small treble on Ten Hag's first year at United?
Stop, Jerome. Stop doing this to us, man. Viable, stop putting us in conversations that don't need to be had.
By the way, Jerome.
Talk it up.
Jerome, I love you as a Spurs fan. I'm going to bring some Spurs stuff up again. Spurs have had their golden generation, their golden era. And that's 4 trophies we have more than you. I just want to point that out. United are elite. You don't need Sheikh's money, but his care.
Yeah, we headbangers. We need.
I agree with you, headbangers. Great super chat.
Listen, I want the Sheikh's care and his money. Do you know what I'm saying? I want both. I want more money than anybody else. No debt. Listen, let's build the biggest stadium in the Western world. I know there's a really big one in North Korea, but we don't really know how big it is because no one goes there. I think Beaver Stadium, Penn State University in America is the biggest stadium in the world, 110,000 it holds. I went to a game there. Let's build a 115,000-seater stadium. Let's have the biggest stadium, the most amount of money. Let's have the biggest wage bill, but let's make sure we win some goddamn trophies as well. Big is best. It depends how big it is, but if you want to make it look bigger, Manscaped. Manscaped. When you shave away all that fluff and all that hair, everything appears larger than it maybe really is. Now, that can be a blessing for some people. Now, some of us don't have that issue. We're all good. But to help you guys out that do, make sure you're getting it shaved. Plus, trust me, get rid of the fluff, especially in the back passage area. No one likes breadcrumbs. Get rid of the breadcrumbs, get rid of the odors, and use Manscaped now. 20% discount using my promo code TFT20. Get it done.
Even Manscaped knows that bold is best. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, true. Bold is best. I mean, I say that after my hair's looking. I didn't get my hair cut because we're on a good run, but the hair's doing pretty good now. Look, it's pretty fluffy. Look at that. What that hair.
Terry, now that we've won the Carabao Cup, you shaving it? Yeah.
No.
Is that what's happening?
No, man, I can't.
Shave it before next weekend. That'll be nice.
I'm not cutting my hair now. But I'm not cutting the hair now until Man United lose. It's staying until we lose. It's staying until we lose. The last time I cut it, I cut it the day before the Manchester derby, and we've done pretty well since then. So I'm not cutting it now until we lose or have a bad performance. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, of course, Jess is nodding to what I was saying because that's what I'm just saying.
Oh no,
It's all right. It's okay. We're all good. Listen, congratulations, Man United. Genuinely, congratulations to Man United today. Congratulations to us. Well done, me. We won today. Very, very happy indeed. And I think as I'm going to do Lee Gunner here because I've held the standards high. Because I've sacrificed to help get the club where we are today, I'm taking this as a moral victory myself as well. But well done to Ten Hag and the boys. Well done to Captain Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro for being... Oh, we got a super chat here. I'll come back to my little speech in a memento. United needed that win because look at Barcelona today. After losing to United, they have just lost...
6-1.
Who lost? They lost. They lost. Amara lost 6-1 last week. If United lost it, it probably would have destroyed the season. It could have destroyed the season. It could have destroyed it. It could. Listen, winning football matches matter. Anyone that says after a defeat, it doesn't matter, they're liars. Again, block them, unfollow them, unsubscribe. Liars. Listen, I want to thank my panel today, Dizzy, Roms, and of course, KJ, Red's in the house party, and my co-host tonight, Jessica Black. Thank you very, very much indeed. Javern on the text. Well done in the end. Really appreciate it tonight, bro.
Recovered.
We recovered. Most people tuning in probably don't even remember that happening, but it did. I want to say a big thank you to everybody. Hit the like button before you leave. Subscribe. Well done, Man United. But I'm just going to say it now before we go. We are